Hello, everyone, and welcome to the College Tracker Show. I'm Victoria Allen, your host for today, and we have a lot of special guests for us joining today. So, joining us, we have RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology. We have the University of Minnesota, and we have the University of Kentucky. So I am not going to hold us up, but before we begin, just remember that if you have any questions, to write them in the chat if you're joining us in the virtual room or in the Q&A box. And also, if you're watching us on our social media channels via live stream, send in your questions and we will also provide them to our special guests. So we have Mark with us today with RIT. How are you, Mark?
Good. How are you, Victoria?
I'm well. And we're going to get started. So, Mark, I will hand it over to you.
All right. Thanks so much. So thanks for joining us. My name is Mark Munzer. I'm one of the Senior Associate Directors of Undergraduate Admission at RIT. I'm also an alumnus of the university. I'm a graduate of the Applied Statistics program and the MBA program, and I've been in the admissions office for just over 20 years. So again, thanks for joining us. Here's kind of a look at what we're going to cover in the next few minutes. So I want to give you a comprehensive look at the university and make myself available for more detailed questions after the program, and we're happy to stay in touch going forward in the process. So here's a quick look at the campus. It is a very modern, residential, suburban located campus. It's in a self-contained setting, and it's very much a walkable campus. Rochester, if you've never been before, is a medium-sized US city, and the campus is about 5 miles from the downtown area, and the greater Rochester area has about 1 million people. There are 12 colleges in the Rochester area and universities, so it is a bit of a student-friendly area, and it's very proximate to Ontario for those of you joining us from Ontario. In terms of the university, there are 9 colleges, and there's a lot of different types of programs that make up the university. So while you would imagine an Institute of Technology, there are a lot of STEM programs. There's also a lot of art, design, film, photography programs. We also have many business programs and social sciences, humanities, communication programs, and a lot of environmental-based programs as well. So there's a lot to choose from. Some of our most well-known programs would be mechanical engineering, computer science, game design and development, the film and animation program, industrial design, photography, and the list goes on and on. So a lot of different choices, and that can be combined into majors and minors, double majors, bachelor's, master's. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. So RIT has a lot of different pathways to graduate school at RIT and through partner universities or other universities that are not directly affiliated. So we have dual degree programs in a variety of areas, mostly in STEM, but also in some of our social science and humanities-based programs. A lot of these programs are offered to students when they are admitted to the university, so they have an early conditional acceptance into a master's program in a compressed time frame, typically 5 years, sometimes 6. And there's also some financial incentives for the graduate portion of your degree program. We also have a 4+1 MBA if you want to get an MBA after your time at RIT. And we have a 4+2 BFA with interior design and our Master of Architecture program. So 6 years to earn those 2 degrees. And we have a direct entry 5-year BSMS physician assistant program as well. Some of the partner programs that we have partner programs with LECOM, which is Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. You can apply as a high school student directly into that program or once you're at RIT. We also have a direct entry BSMD program, a 4+4 with SUNY Upstate Medical University, which is in Syracuse. You would apply to RIT for that program when you're making your normal university application, and the deadline for that is November 15th. Any of you are looking at medical school programs. And we have a 3+3 BSJD with Syracuse University College of Law. That is also a program that you would apply to as part of your RIT application. And that is restricted to students studying social science, humanities, and communication-based programs. So those are examples of some of our programs. Here's a more detailed look at some of the combinations that are available to you. So there's quite a number of them. And even if you're not offered an early conditional acceptance as part of your application from grade 12, you can also apply to join these programs while you're a second-year student at RIT, and your academic advisor will guide you through that application program. So this is just a really short list of some of the possibilities and combinations that are available to students. And I just wanted to mention that one of the things that RIT is most known for is the cooperative education program. There are 4 really big co-op universities in the US, and RIT is one of them. And we've been recognized for that by US News and World Report. There are many other opportunities for experiential learning, including research and clinical rotations for health science students, but co-op is one of the big part of an RIT education and the culture of the university. And we have employer relationships with over 2,000 employers worldwide. I wanted to talk a little bit about our Canadian student population and some of the most popular sports and majors. So we have almost 100 total Canadian students at RIT. The majority of them are from Ontario and BC, but other provinces are represented as well. And about half of them are student athletes. You can see our most popular sports for Canadian students are our men's and women's Division I hockey program. Second to that would be the men's and women's lacrosse program. Soccer, baseball, volleyball, and crew all have Canadian student athletes as part of the teams. And we're always looking to add Canadians to our other athletic teams as well. In total, we have 24 different intercollegiate athletic teams that are part of the NCAA. You can see the most popular majors for Canadian students really span a lot of the areas we already talked about. So all the STEM disciplines, including computing programs, game design development is very popular. A lot of our health science programs are very popular with our Canadian students, including exercise science, if you're interested in kinesiology, for example, or biomedical science, if you're looking to be a pre-med student, that's a very popular choice. And we do have Canadians that are part of the BSMD program with SUNY Upstate University that I mentioned earlier. So if you're not familiar with New York State, here is a map, and there are colleges and universities populated on this map. So to the west, or on the left of your screen, is Buffalo. That's the first major city, and you can see a cluster of universities there. You can see RIT there. The next city over is Rochester, followed by Syracuse as you head east, and then Albany. And then downstate, you see a huge cluster of colleges and universities. That would be the New York City metro area. And then up north, there's a handful as well near the Kingston border. But we are about 3 hours from the GTA. Of course, it depends on traffic, but not very far. And we're about an hour and 15 minutes away from Niagara Falls, Canada. So that's to kind of give you a sense of things. We do have an international airport right about 5 minutes from campus. So very close if you're flying in from a further distance. But many of our Ontario students are very easily able to drive to Rochester. In terms of the campus, RIT is one of the 10 largest private universities in the US. So almost 17,000 total students with about 14,000 undergraduate students, about 2,000 international students. It's a very diverse university, so students from a wide variety of backgrounds, ethnicities, and races, religions. We have a large LGBTQ population on campus, and a really unique aspect of diversity is our deaf and hard of hearing student population, because we are home to the National Technical Institute for the Deaf. Average class size is 22, and we have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio. As I mentioned before, it is a very residential campus. So we have residence halls and apartments on campus. We have over 20 dining options on campus. We have a tunnel system that connects a lot of our academic buildings and also our residence halls, and a lot of services. So you can be very self-sustaining right on campus, but right nearby is a huge shopping area, lots of restaurants. We do allow first-year students to have cars. If you want to bring a car, that's fine. So now I want to switch into talking about financial aid and scholarships. We do have an automatic process. We will be considering you for academic-based scholarships, and there's no extra application for that. We also have a financial aid application for Canadian students, which allows us to consider you for grant funding, which is also money that you don't need to pay back. So that's great. We do accept OSAP and your RESP program if you're a part of that. So there's a lot of different ways to finance your RIT education, and you can work on campus up to 20 hours per week. We do have athletic scholarships. As recently a new thing for RIT, just for our Division I hockey teams. And you can see on the right-hand side our admission deadlines. So we have an early decision 1 of November 1st, early decision 2 of January 1st. And those are if your RIT is your top choice. And then regular decision is a January 15th deadline. So a little bit about our athletic programs. I mentioned them a little bit before, but these are the intercollegiate teams, hockey Division I, the rest are Division III. The Division III teams compete in the Liberty League, which pretty much has all New York members. So you don't have to travel too far for your athletic contests. The men's hockey team competes in Atlantic Hockey, and the women's team competes in the CHA, College Hockey America. We also have a whole series of club sport teams and intramural teams. So if you're not playing at the intercollegiate level, you could consider this level. Esports is very popular, about 1,000 students participating in that. And there's a lot of unique opportunities here with different ways to be involved. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about the application process with the time that we have left. You can apply directly to a major if you're pretty sure that you want a certain major. And if you're admitted directly into that major. You start in that major from day one, and you're able to start taking classes related to your major in year one as well. If you're not exactly sure about a specific major, we have a lot of college-based exploration programs, which allow you to be in the core curriculum for that area and then make a more informed decision about a major after your first semester or two. And then we also have a customized program called individualized study if you want to create your own bachelor's degree. We have holistic admission review, meaning that we consider all aspects of your candidacy, including your activities, your essay, your recommendations. Our majors have different levels of competitiveness depending on the program. We are SAT and ACT optional for all programs unless you're applying to the BSMD with SUNY Upstate. That does have a requirement. And you can see our average GPA on a US scale, so you have to convert that a little bit depending on what province you're in. And then also the average SATs and ACTs should you choose to submit them, but they're not required. So a variety of factors considered by our committee. And if you're applying to any of our art, design, or film programs, there is a portfolio requirement as part of the application process. And then this last slide just gives some opportunities to stay connected with us. We have video conversations you can register for on our website, virtual campus and virtual housing tours. We also have in-person tours that you can sign up for if you're able to make it to campus, blogs and blogs that you can read. And in June and July, we'll have some upcoming virtual events meant to give you a more in-depth look at RIT and or explore different career options. And I'm going to email everyone that expressed interest in the program tonight so you have the opportunity to get invited to those events. And there's my email address if you want to contact me directly. How'd I do with time, Victoria?
Great. We still have time for one question. So leave the slide up so anyone that's viewing can capture your information before you leave us today. But thank you so much for coming and sharing RIT with us.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So I would like to know, what do you love most about RIT?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind, Victoria, are the people, just very friendly, helpful. But when I think about a place like RIT, and I can speak from personal experience, it's just a place where you can really transform wherever you are in your life to someplace else through the experiences you gain related to your areas of interest, through other personal development opportunities that may present itself. So for me, I came from a small town that wasn't very diverse, and I was able to meet people from all over the world at RIT. I was able to get a job in Germany after I graduated and move and learn another culture and language. And so those life-changing opportunities that present itself, but also the opportunities to learn new things like sign language, for example. So just kind of a real unique place to grow in so many different ways. It's one of the things I love about RIT.
Awesome. Well, let me see. So we had a hand raised. So Janet, if you can hear me, I'm going to allow you to talk. So we're going to see if you can ask your question live. Janet, go ahead.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
live. You're welcome.
I'm an independent guidance counselor and have just been so thrilled over the years for those students of mine who enrolled at RIT, as Mark well knows. This is the first time I realized that you have a program open for Canadians that's a BS MD program. I am so excited about that. Probably it's been there a while, I just didn't know. But I wanted to find out, my students will ask, will they need to write their MCATs to continue into the MD program at SUNY?
So the program's only 4 years old, Janet. So it's not, it
Oh,
hasn't been around too long.
okay.
And it's great to hear from you. Hello. Thanks for coming tonight. The students that are part of the program are exempt from the MCAT is the answer to your question, which is great for them.
Thank you.
Yeah,
They
you're
will be
welcome.
very happy to hear that.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Janet, for joining and asking your question live. And if anybody else has any questions, raise your hand, let it be known, and we would love to ask our special guests for you or let you ask live like Janet did. So, Mark, that is it for now. Always a pleasure having you joining us on the College Tracker Show.
Thanks. It's good to see you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so up next, let's see, we have the University of Minnesota. So let's see, Amy, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Excellent. Well, welcome to the College Tracker Show. And
Thanks so much.
we're going to keep it rolling and I'll hand
Okay,
it over to you whenever you are ready.
sounds good. Thanks so much. I'm really pleased to be with you this evening to talk a little bit about the University of Minnesota. I'm representing the Twin Cities campus, and I am the Director of International Student Recruitment, and I am the contact person for any Canadian students who are interested in enrolling at my institution. So we'll get right into it. So the first thing that you need to know about the University of Minnesota is that we are a major public research institution. We have about 52,000 students total, so we're very large. Of those students, about 5,100 are international students from about 130 different countries, including Canada. And we offer a huge variety of programs for our students. We have 150 different undergraduate majors, and then even more if you decide that you'd like to go on to graduate and professional programs, over 200 programs at that level. And the picture that you see on your screen here is a picture of Northrop Mall, which is the main part of our Minneapolis campus with the academic buildings all around. And in the top left corner, you can see a little glimpse of the Mississippi River, which is the largest river in North America, and it runs right through our campus. So you might think, oh my gosh, I'm going to go to this big university, I'm going to be lost in the crowd, but that's not really the case. We have a lot of support services for our students. And in fact, our student to faculty ratio is 17:1, and 80% of our classes have 50 students or less. Now, you might have some introductory level classes that are quite large, but they're always accompanied by a discussion group or a lab where you can get to know the other students and the professors and the teaching assistants. We are really proud of our professors and our alumni who've collectively won 26 Nobel Prizes in areas like economics, physics. We have one Nobel Peace Prize winner, literature, and so forth. And we have a really large alumni network, 80 alumni networks worldwide. These are people that have the same experience with you, that commonality of being a Golden Gopher. Goldie the Gopher is our mascot. They're there for you for social events, but also networking for your future career. And we are a member of the American Association of Universities and the Big Ten Academic Alliance, which are both testaments to our excellence in research and academics. So specifically about Canadians at the University of Minnesota, right now we have about 150 Canadians enrolled at all levels. Most of what they are studying are in the business areas, dentistry, biological sciences, education, engineering, and veterinary sciences. They come from 7 provinces. You know, Minnesota is just south of far Western Ontario and Manitoba. So we have many students from that area. And another really important thing to know is that if you are a Manitoba resident, we actually offer in-state tuition, which is a significantly lower amount. It's about $14,000 per year for tuition. And I'll get to tuition for other provinces later on. But you can see more at the Z link at the bottom, which is z.umn.edu/Manitoba. A little bit about our city. The Twin Cities are the two cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. They have grown together to become a large metropolitan area of 3.5 million people. It's easy to get around. We have a light rail train that runs right through campus, a free bus that circulates. It's actually a very bikeable city. Minneapolis was voted the most bikeable city in the United States. We are very close to the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. And we are home to a lot of really large Fortune 500 companies, 18 specifically. And what that means for you as a student is being located in such a vibrant metropolitan area, you don't have to go very far to find internships related to your career and to your studies, because we want all of our students to have that experience of getting an inside look into what practical experience of what they're learning in the classroom would be. We have a really vibrant arts and music scene. We have all the professional sports teams in addition to our Division I athletic teams. Minnesotans love to be outside. There's things to do all year round. We have a beautiful chain of lakes. You can rent a kayak, canoe, a paddleboard, sit by the beaches. And in the wintertime, of course, you can cross-country ski. You can go snow tubing, ice skating, doing all of those winter sports as well. The Twin Cities is actually home to a large number of diverse communities from around the world, and they brought with them their cultural events and their food. We're actually known as kind of a foodie town for the Midwest. And of course, I can't forget to mention the Mall of America, which is one of the largest shopping malls in the United States. It's about 20 minutes from campus. It's so large, it has an amusement park in the center, and of course it's covered to keep it warm. And so students go there on the weekend to go shopping, to see a movie, go for dinner. There's an aquarium. And also in Minnesota, there is no tax on clothing and shoes. So when you apply to the University of Minnesota, you actually apply to one of these colleges. So we have all of our business programs are housed in the Carlson School of Management. We're one of the few universities in the United States that has an entire college dedicated to biological sciences. College of Design houses our creative majors like apparel design, architecture, those types of things. College of Education and Human Development is like our people college, education programs, sports management, kinesiology, those types of things. The College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences houses all of our houses our animal science program, which is the pathway to veterinary studies, nutrition, anything related to agriculture. College of Liberal Arts is our largest college with about 63 different majors in the humanities, language, social sciences, those types of things. College of Science and Engineering houses about 20 programs in the pure sciences and a variety of different engineering specializations. And last but not least, our School of Nursing houses our nursing programs. So to move a little bit to our athletic programs, we do offer athletic scholarships as we are a Division I institution. We have 21 varsity sports. Our teams are almost professional level. We had 16 Gopher athletes in the most recent Olympics. And of course, you can see we have a good hockey program with 8 of the women's hockey players and 4 men's hockey players for Team USA. And we've won a variety of different conference titles. Teams that have current Canadian student athletes are football, hockey, cross country, golf, rowing, tennis, and track and field. If you want more information about our athletics, you can go to gophersports.com. All of those scholarships, though, are managed by the coaches, so you would need to get in touch with them and fill out one of the recruit forms if you'd like to be considered. Some of the nice benefits of being an athlete is that you have access to the Athletes Village, which is a very new complex focused on academic, athletic, and leadership performance. There are programs that are specifically geared towards student athletes to develop those life skills, leadership, teamwork. We also have an academic success support team and a nutrition center. And of course, if you do want to be considered for one of our teams, you also need to be registered with the NCAA Eligibility Center. This is our current cost of attendance. I mentioned earlier that this rate for Manitoba students is about $14,000 per year for tuition. That doesn't include fees, but if you're from one of the other provinces, our tuition rate is about $35,000 per year. We require all students to have health insurance, and then the living expenses and books cost is for 12 months. So if you didn't live in Minnesota, then your living expenses might be lower. But we have a flat tuition rate. So any credits that you take above 13, there's no additional charge. So, and to graduate in 4 years, you usually need to take between 15 to 16 credits each semester. Now, for those of you who don't qualify for the Manitoba rate, we do have some scholarships specifically for international students. Our Global Excellence scholarships are merit-based, so that means they're based on your academic history and your qualities as a student. Our largest scholarship is $25,000. There's nothing extra you need to do other than complete your application. It's very competitive, though, to receive those awards. We have some smaller need-based awards awarded through our International Student and Scholar Services Office. Those range from $1,000 to $5,000 per year, but it does require a separate application and an essay due by February 1st. I mentioned we're a large research institution. We want our students to get involved in research, so we offer an undergraduate research opportunities program that gives you a stipend of $1,700 to help you participate in faculty-sponsored research. So this is how you stay in touch with us. If you'd like to visit our website, that's the top link there. You can send us an email, follow our international student ambassadors on Instagram and Facebook. And of course, you can chat with us on WhatsApp at that phone number that you see on your screen there. So that is a lot of information in a very short amount of time. So if there are any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Thank you so much, Amy, for sharing that presentation with us. And Janet has her hand raised again. So let me see what question Janet has. Janet, you can unmute at this time.
Unmute, yes. This is really terrific, and the Golden Gophers always have very good teams, especially in hockey, as we Canadians know. Can you tell me how difficult it is for a Canadian to get into the School of Veterinary Medicine?
Well, I would have to do a little bit more research. I don't know that specifically. Yeah. And most of the students start out at the bachelor's level in animal science and then progress on to the vet school. We actually have 2 animal hospitals on our campus. We have a small animal hospital and then a large animal hospital. The large animal hospital works with the cattle and horses and those types of things. And then the small animal hospital works with more like pets, cats and dogs and guinea pigs. And they have so many specializations within those areas. It's quite impressive. So I'm sorry, I don't know the exact answer, but I can definitely do some research for you.
Thank you. I very much appreciate that. We do have, or I have a lot of students who are interested in veterinary medicine and often want to go to the US, but it is often hard for Canadians to get in. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Janet. And before you leave, Amy, what do you love most about the University of Minnesota?
I think one of the things that I love the most about the University of Minnesota is all of the really cool and interesting things that are going on around campus. Even as a staff person, there's so many interesting lectures and fun things that the student activities team puts together. Of course, everybody loves the all-campus events like homecoming, and in the spring we have a great big music festival called Spring Jam. And then we're in this really the city that has a lot of things going on. So there's never a lack of things to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Amy, for joining us today and tell us more about the University of Minnesota.
My pleasure. Thanks so much.
You are very welcome. So, we are going to hand it over now to Rachel from the University of Kentucky. Hey, Rachel, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. All right, well, I'm going to let you go ahead and begin your presentation. And just a reminder as you get set up, if you have any questions, raise your virtual hand, write them in the chat or the Q&A box. All right, over to you, Rachel.
Thanks, Victoria. So I'm Rachel from the University of Kentucky. We are a little further afield from Canada than either Rochester or Minnesota, as you know. So we are a top 100 public research university in the United States. We are an R1 research university, and we are large with around 30,000 undergraduate and graduate students. About 5% of our student population are international students. And as I said, we don't have quite the population of Canadians that some of our American schools closer to Canada might have, though we do have Canadian students, both undergraduate and graduate. We have Canadian student international ambassadors as well. So even though we are a large university, our faculty to student ratio is 16:1. And while you might be in some larger classes for your first year, you will have most of your classes in a smaller environment with less than 30 students. Because we are a large university, we do have over 200 academic majors and programs. Some of our standout majors, the majors that are most popular with our international students and our Canadian students, are in our College of Engineering. We have 12 majors in our College of Engineering. Our newest majors in the College of Engineering are biomedical engineering and aerospace. In addition to that, we also have most of the engineering majors that you can think of, including civil engineering, chemical, mechanical, electrical, computer science, and computer engineering, mining engineering, etc. Our College of Business is very popular as well. It has 5 majors with economics, management, accounting, marketing, and finance. And we do have a wide array of pre-professional programs to prepare students to enter professional school in a variety of fields, like law, medicine, dental, vet, optometry, pharmacy, physician's assistant, and occupational and physical therapy. And when you are in one of these pre-professional programs, you have your normal academic advisor, of course, but then in addition to that, you have a pre-professional advisors. So you really have 2 advisors who are helping guide you along the path to help you get accepted to veterinary school or dental school, in addition to keeping you on track within your major. So we also have a number of accelerated bachelor's programs. Some of these are lead to a 5-year bachelor's plus master's degree. So like the accounting, MBA, public health, and public policy. In addition to those, so those are 5-year programs where you do your bachelor's and your master's in 5 years. In addition to those, we do have accelerated options for pharmacy. So the College of Pharmacy at University of Kentucky is a top 10 college of pharmacy in the United States. And we do have options for students to enter directly into the College of Pharmacy after their junior year. So really shaving 1 year off of your total college years, which is a really excellent program for students who are in the pharmacy pre-professional program, getting that jump start. In addition to that, so we also have what we call our Honors Early Assurance Program with the University of Kentucky College of Medicine, which is also located right here on our central campus. So this is a program specifically for students who are in our honors college, where after they apply for their sophomore year, during their sophomore year, so during their second year, they can apply to be admitted to the College of Medicine in our early assurance program. So if they are accepted, students spend the next 2 years as undergraduates completing the requirements to enter the medical school, and they have access to enhanced pre-medical advising during this time period. And their medical school acceptance then is contingent on meeting all of the program requirements. So basically, this is like early assurance that as long as you fulfill all the requirements to get into the medical school, you have a spot waiting for you at the University of Kentucky College of Medicine, which is a really amazing opportunity in terms of medical school acceptance. To turn a little bit away from the academics for the moment. So we are located in Lexington, Kentucky, the heart of the Bluegrass region. So it's a very vibrant community. We are a small city. We're a very safe city. We've been rated number 3rd safest city in the United States. And our campus is located right in the heart of Lexington, Kentucky. So you can walk off campus into downtown. There's no need for a car, no need even for a bike, though you can actually rent a bike for free through the year if you are living off campus and you would like to have a bike. Our campus is primarily a residential campus, meaning that students are always around and there's always something going on. There's always something to do. We have over 500 student clubs and organizations, as well as programs specifically for our international students in terms of our international student leadership team, our international student orientation, to help you acclimate to the university and to the Lexington environment, as well as cultural programs year-round. So there really is always something going on campus. You will always find some place to eat. We actually have over 30 places to eat on campus. Our 14 residence halls are all either newly built or newly renovated, so they are wonderful, modern, and very, very comfortable. And so that leads me into our scholarship opportunities for international students. So we have 3 main scholarship programs for our international students. The first is our Bluegrass Spirit Academic Scholarship. So this is based purely on your grades. Your GPA starting at 3.0 qualifies you for a Bluegrass Spirit Academic Scholarship. And as your GPA goes higher, you are qualified for more money. So the Bluegrass Spirit Academic Scholarship starts at $5,000 per year and goes up to $12,500 per year. We also have a Parker Diversity Scholarship that starts at $5,000 per year. And we have an International Ambassador Scholarship that has a wide range, but can go up to $16,000 per year. We are SAT optional right now, meaning that if you choose to submit an SAT score, we will look at it. We will consider it as part of your application package, but it is not necessary either for admissions or for scholarship consideration. So even for the academic scholarship, if you submit an SAT score, we will consider that, but it is not necessary right now if you choose not to take the SAT. So the Bluegrass Spirit Academic Scholarship, you are automatically considered for that. But for the Parker Diversity Scholarship and the International Ambassador Scholarship, there is a supplemental essay that you will have to write. And in the case of the International Ambassador Scholarship, there is also an interview process. So that's just something to keep in mind as you are doing your applications, to make sure you budget that time for yourself for this application or any other that you might be doing that has supplemental essays for their scholarship programs. One of the things that Kentucky is most known for throughout the country is our sports. We are an NCAA Division I school. We have 21 and Division I sports, 10 men's and 11 women's. So we are really well known. The Kentucky Wildcats are really well known for their athletic success. And when I talk about things going on campus, that is one of the things that is most popular with our students around campus. We are mostly known for our men's basketball. University of Kentucky has more players in the NBA than any other university in the United States. Our men's football, and on the women's side, our women's basketball and our women's gymnastics are both standouts as well as our rifle teams, which are one of the best in the United States, though not as mainstream popular. So we are very proud at University of Kentucky that we have broken or tied the NCAA graduation success record every year since the NCAA began measuring that statistic in 2005. The academic success of our athletes is something that we take very seriously. And because we do, we have a lot of resources to back that up. So we have our CATS Center for Athletes, which is the Center for Academic and Tutorial Services. So this is an environment for all student athletes that for the opportunity to maximize their academic, personal, and social growth. So this is a center, of course, for academic tutoring for students who need it, but in addition to the academic tutoring services, to really think about the athlete as a whole person, to work on leadership skills, to work on general life skills as well. So this is a wonderful resource that is available free for all of our student athletes at the University of Kentucky. Because we are an NCAA Division I school, we do have athletic scholarships, but just like for any Division I program, because of NCAA regulations, all scholarships go through the coaching staff. So what I can really do for you or answer for you in terms of athletic scholarships is I can direct you to the right place. They're on our UK Athletics website, which is just ukathletics.com. There is a recruitment interest form to fill out if you would like to get in touch with the coaches and see if you are a right fit for one of our athletic teams. So in terms of our tuition and cost, so the total cost of attendance at University of Kentucky, so this includes tuition and fees as well as room and board and our books and health plan, is around $47,000 per year, which seems like a very scary number when you look at it. But when you are looking at that number, also consider our scholarships. Our academic scholarship ranges up to $12,500. Our Parker Diversity Scholarship ranges up to $15,000. And our International Ambassador Scholarship ranges up to $16,000. This means that the top possible scholarship would reach you up to full tuition. Only full tuition. We do not give any scholarships for international students that cover room and board or living expenses, right? But it is certainly possible with the scholarship programs that we have to reach that full tuition number or very close to it in a way that will make it very manageable for you to afford University of Kentucky. The application process at University of Kentucky is very simple and very straightforward. If you plan on applying to other American universities, you are not going to see anything here that is going to be too different. So as I said earlier, we are test optional for both admissions and scholarships, meaning we do not require either the SAT or the ACT right now. If you want to take one of those exams, if you plan to take it anyway, send us your scores if you do well, and they will be considered as part of your application package. The most important thing to remember throughout the application process is that December 1st is the deadline for priority scholarship consideration for the academic scholarships. Meaning, if you apply after December 1st, we cannot guarantee that you will be considered for any of the academic scholarships, no matter how high your GPA. So if you are thinking, for example, about applying for fall of 2023, make sure that your application has in and submitted by December 1st of 2022. You can apply either on our application, which is found on our website, or on the Common App. If you are applying to multiple American universities, I do suggest that you use the Common App simply because it will make your life a little bit easier and a little bit quicker, not filling out the same information multiple times. In addition to the filling out the application, which includes the personal statement, we do need an official copy of your high school transcript sent directly to the university from your high school. And again, keep in mind that if you plan on applying for supplemental scholarships, or if you plan on applying for our honors college, there will be additional essays. So make sure that when you are filling out the application, you give yourself the time to write those additional essays, as well as complete the application for admission. If you have any questions at all, I encourage you to get in touch with me. My email is right here. I'm always happy to hear from you, to schedule a quick Zoom meeting, to answer any questions that you may have. And I would also encourage you to go to our website where you can chat with one of our international students. You can choose to speak with Siobhan, who is our international ambassador from Canada, or you can choose to speak with somebody who has a major that is similar to what you are interested in, and ask them any questions that you might have about life at UK.
Thank you, Rachel. So we have a question. We have a hand raised. And so Janet, I'm going to make it where you can unmute yourself. Janet?
Hi, thank you. I have 4 points, and I hope I remember them, questions and comments. One, the priority deadline for scholarships. Just so everyone knows, this is not at all weird that it's December 1st. Priority deadlines for, well, quite a few state universities are much earlier than people think. And so I'm glad you mentioned that there is that deadline. Another thing is, do you have tutoring and support for those students who may not be athletes but need it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a great thing to bring up. There are free tutoring services for all students. I just mentioned it quickly in the context of student athletes because it's part of that center, but we also have the Center for Student Success, where any student on the university campus can access tutoring services for any of their courses for free.
Fabulous. Point number 3. You were saying that you're quite far away, but from Toronto and Southwest Ontario, I think you just zapped through Michigan, through Ohio, and I think there's Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have a map in front.
No, you're right. It's a long drive, but it is really a straight shot, straight south.
All right. And my 4th point, and this is a question, can Canadians qualify for the early assurance program into medical school?
Yes. International students
Wonderful.
qualify for that program.
Oh, thank you. That's wonderful to know. Thank you very much, Rachel.
Sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Janet, for your questions this evening. And then everyone else, you can also ask questions if you have them. And so before you go, Rachel, just a question that we all want to know is that what do you love most about the University of Kentucky?
Sure. Well, I think there's like the serious answer and the fun answer. So the serious answer is really there are so many opportunities for our students to excel. Doing research with professors, doing internships, becoming teaching assistants even as undergraduates. For the students interested in medicine and nursing and pharmacy, volunteering in the hospital and in the clinics that are part of our campus. There are so many opportunities, and all you have to do is kind of reach out your hand for them because they're all right here on campus. And then the fun answer is one of the best things on campus is going to a basketball game. It's like, you know, an NBA quality game right here on campus, and it is always an amazing atmosphere. And that's something all of our students love as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Rachel, for coming and sharing the University of Kentucky with us. And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Great. Thank you so much for having me, Victoria.
You are so welcome. And thank you all who joined us via the Zoom that came into the Zoom today, and those that are watching via live stream. We just appreciate you coming out and checking out who we had today. And make sure you come back and join us again tomorrow and see the lineup that we have for you. And we will continue to bring you university and colleges to the College Tracker Show. So we will see you next time. All right. Bye.